we have to start with what Dr. Zellman just referred to, which is a requirement of the Ohio Constitution that our state provides a thorough and efficient system of common schools across the state. Public education is critical because it is only through public education that we can assure that every single student, regardless of their race or their gender or their family income or their background or their natural ability, has the support that they need in order to be successful. And so the first order of business for the state of Ohio to fulfill its constitutional responsibility is to fully and fairly fund our public schools. So every student has a well-rounded curriculum. Every student has access to quality teachers. Every student has opportunity to learn with reasonable class sizes. And students within the public schools have choices, have options, whether it's career tech, whether it's in the arts, whether it's focused on particular college paths. We need to be doing that. And by the way, Columbus City Schools does a great job. My home district, Worthington Schools, I was local president when we negotiated language to allow for the creation of a new alternative middle school that was really student focused and teacher created. So there are all kinds of opportunities there. I think it's a little bit puzzling to me to look at this parallel expansion of charter schools and private school vouchers, because in many ways we've seen those privatization agendas kind of come into conflict against each other. Charter school enrollment really kind of grew quickly from the late 90s, for the first 15 years or so of their existence, and then enrollment kind of plateaued. And now we've seen, especially with the passage of universal vouchers in this budget bill, private school subsidies, are just going through the roof. What the legislature just did in passing a bill that will provide any family in the state, regardless of their income, even millionaires, an opportunity to get money from the state to subsidize their decision to send their kids to private schools was simply a handout to the rich. And if you're wondering if that's really true, it was interesting listening to the debate over voucher expansion over the course of the last 6 months. Any pretense that this somehow is providing students with better choices, better quality, wasn't even mentioned in the debate. In fact, we know from evidence, the Cincinnati Enquirer did a great study and published the results a couple years ago that shows 90% of the cases, students attending local public schools are performing better than their peers attending private schools on a voucher. So it's not about quality. We also know that it's exacerbated a lot of segregation. And you look at communities like Cleveland Heights, very diverse community. Most of the students in the public schools are students of color. Most of the students attending private schools on vouchers are wealthier white students. But buried in that language, there had been a longstanding provision since the creation of income-based vouchers in Ohio that said that if you're a family that makes less than 200% of poverty, the private school accepting the voucher was required to accept the voucher as payment in full for tuition. They were not allowed to balance bill for tuition. This legislature just eliminated that language. Now, what does that tell you about what kind of students they're trying to bring into the private schools on voucher programs? Let's focus our attention on making sure that all of our students have the resources that they need to be successful through our public schools.